Penn State defensive end Abdul Carter is a can't-miss blue-chip prospect, and he highlights a very talented pass rush group in the 2025 NFL draft class, and he's coming off another game-wrecking performance in the very first college football playoff opening round against SMU. Let's dive into the tape and talk about what separates him amongst the rest of these guys in this class and why he's getting very lofty expectations set for him as a true junior. And when you have all the tools and traits and look the part the way that Abdul Carter does, you're going to get a lot of comps for an ex-Penn State player that we all know for now for the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons. And there's a lot of similarities to the game and why, former linebackers that now play pass rusher, play edge, or having to learn more in the run game, things like that. What I like about this here is that he's got extra help off the edge. He understands that as we get to the end zone angle here. It looks a little bit like duo, specifically with the way that these are all lined up. It looks like you've got Oregon that wants to execute a double team here and a double team here. And then you're going to have Penn State is going to have both of these defensive tackles kind of come off to the inside a little bit, just a little bit there. And you see the linemen are going to then get to the next level, get to the next block. And Abdul Carter here off the edge knows that he has extra help, okay? So he's going to have a player that comes down off the edge to help in case of a quarterback keeper. So he's going to take a step up front here, take a little bit of hesitation, read the quarterback and the mesh point between the running back, and then he's going to come across the face of a less aggressive tackle who's really more of just trying to keep him out of the way, right? But when you're not as aggressive in the run game and you've got a player like Abdul Carter right here off the edge who's got speed, he has that speed to power there, and he's got pretty quick hands. So if he wants to get them inside your chest and attack, he can do that. Really nice job there of executing that play against what looked like duo, trying to get into that mesh point as fast as he can across the face of the tackle, make a play behind the line of scrimmage, or at least close to that line of scrimmage. But he does live in the backfield. What he does best, he is a gap shooter, one of the players in this class that will consistently translate what he does to the next level because he's got such quick reactionary skills, and he also uses great eye discipline to be able to sniff some of these things out. So you see right here, he just dives in between the tackle and the tight end and gets into the backfield after the quarterback hands it off to the running back on this outside zone or inside zone, and that's just tackle for loss. He piles up tackles for loss like nobody's business. He joined Deion Barnes as the only Penn State freshman to record 10 plus sacks for a loss and 6 plus sacks in a season. That was when it was 2 seasons ago. So he's been doing this already for a very long time, and he's sustained it at a very high level, obviously moving him down as an edge rusher, learning more of the tools of the trade here off the edge. You're going to see number 71 get down. So when we see these offensive linemen in their inside zone, outside zone, whatever it is, they get down the line very well here. Everyone moves to the right. So the tight end right here is going to be a little half step late. So he's not going to get that same movement as the offensive line does, and you're going to create a gap right here. This C gap is going to open up. And we know Abdul Carter's quick, so he's going to get in there really quickly. Again, uses his arms to pry it open, to keep it open for himself to get through, and then he makes a big play in the backfield, another TFL. Those are all things that he's known for. The quickness, living in the backfield, getting into gaps, getting out of them, and being able to chase guys down wherever he is on the football field. Now, one of the things that I question about Abdul Carter, his arm length, much like Micah Parsons, doesn't seem to be a true edge. And obviously he was a linebacker before, so maybe it wasn't always requirement, but he's not got those arms where you see him set a hard edge. So right here, Oregon is going to come out and really try to loop some guys around. You're going to pull. You're going to get a little right here. You're going to get the offensive line trying to just pin right there. Looks like a little bit of pin and pull action almost from Oregon here. And you get 91 and an extra offensive lineman, maybe tight end or whatever it is on the offensive line here, come around. And he's going to be able to torque him out of the way a little bit at the point of attack. You want to see Abdul be able to put his arms, into the chest, locate them quickly and extend and find the football. You don't see him do that a ton, specifically as he's setting an edge. It's more of trying to get inside, knife inside when he can to live in the backfield. So when tackles or even tight ends that are good or better blockers with technique can square him up, he's actually got decent pad level here. Not bad. He's in the chest right there. Head's a little bit down, but you want to see those arms extend, right? You got arms on the outside typically from tackles. You see him around the shoulder pads and things like that, but he can get moved around a little bit from stronger offensive linemen, backup offensive linemen like you see here. Oregon coming in with the extra blockers and then just kind of hooking him around right there. good job from number 91 getting him off the edge there. But overall, I think he's going to need to improve a little bit in that point of attack, but also he does a really good job of finding ways around his length, because I don't think he's a very long player. And when you have longer arms, you see those defensive ends in the NFL that can be outside presences and flash to the outside with that strength, that can hold with an inside hand, whether it's right hand or left hand, and flash their outside hand to those running backs and force them back inside. You don't have that specifically with Abdul Carter, but he's, again, a very unique skill set, which we are going to get to. And again, you see the quickness with which he can use his hands, swim, rip, dip, all of those different things that he's able to do quickly. And this is just against the grain. That's what I love about this, is the eye discipline from him. He's going to be able to go against the grain of the offensive line. Again, he's coming out here, motioning down a blocker who's going to come here and then split back across the offensive line. You get movement out again here, but with the alignment of the defense, they're going to create a front side B gap that is extremely large. So you have, again, number 0 comes down here, and he's going to, number 41's in here too. 50 is going to be the point here where he's going to attack the outside shoulder. And then number 74, the tackle, is going to try to get to Abdul Carter. Right there, it creates that problem, right? So you have a double team here from that zone. You're going to have outside zone intention here is what it looks like. And Carter just does a really great job of, again, swimming over those right there. Slap, swim, boom, and number 74 is out of the picture, and we have another TFL from Abdul Carter. So it's all about finding what works best for you, knifing in and out of gaps, quickly getting into the backfield with penetration, and also eye discipline, recognizing those different plays, different runs that are coming at you are all going to be very important, because the physical tools, the arm length, and right now the necessary point of attack strength aren't fully there with him, as he's still developing as an edge player. So those are just some things he's going to have to continue to work on as he gets to the NFL level. And we see, for the most part, for a guy he's being comped to, and Micah Parsons, it has not affected him a ton in terms of being ineffective against the run. He's still making plays there. So Carter is going to have just to keep working at it, as he's done so far. But guys that live in the backfield typically translate to the NFL, and we know that this kind of player is coming in as a pass rusher. This is just a fantastic play once again from Carter, who's going to do what he does best. One of the things, you can have a ton of different pass rush moves. Everyone has a go-to, right? His go-to, his quickest win is the rip. He's able to get underneath tackles so quickly because he can isolate a half, attack a half, and then create some very quick one-on-ones in terms of slicing that tackle in half, attacking it, and getting underneath it. So he's got really great athleticism, as we know. Right here, he tries a little bit of a different move first, right? He's going at that tackle, and then he comes out of the way. So he thinks he's going to be able to dip underneath. So right here, you're going to see, again, attack inside. So he thinks he's going to be able to attack right here. And since this tackle right here, again, the tackle's coming back out here, attacks, he's going to end up attacking right here. Carter does a really nice job, again, of changing his plan through the process. So he tries to dip underneath, arms go down. So Carter, all right, I'm going to dip my shoulder. I'm going to try to get underneath that. And then the arms come in from the tackle. Really, this is a really good job initially right here. But you can already see he understood what was happening. That arm is coming up underneath after he thought he was going to be able to dip underneath the arm. And instead, he rips underneath it. He closes there for a sack. Fantastic triggering of different moves and then stringing them along. So right there, boom, he goes inside, tries to dip underneath out, but the arm comes through with that rip, and he's able to win quickly, and it's a sack on the play. Fantastic. And a play that honestly drove them out of touchdown range, because they were trying to score right there. To just take a sack like that is just a drive killer, especially in the red zone. He's just an absolute athletic freak, and he can quickly, we know he's got first step quickness. We know he has a threat off the edge, up the arc. Being able to get after quarterbacks quickly is what he does, best. You think back to a couple weeks before the Ohio State game, where they had to put Donovan Jackson at left tackle. He was a terror in that game. He was a terror all over this, all over the defensive line for Penn State, wherever they wanted to put him. And here again, it's just that quick rip underneath, but with that shoulder shimmy, right? He accelerates through those hits too. That's what I love about him. He's able to get acceleration moving downhill, and he continues it through his movement as he's going, cornering down and getting after the quarterback. And he's going to win right here with the shoulder shimmy and rip again. So he's going to set up that tackle to think he's coming inside. This is all it takes right here. this move right here, little shoulder inside fake, outside or inside hand comes outward, and then boom, it's outside with the rip, and it's over. It's just that simple for him. So right there, he just kind of pulls it through, a little bit of swipe and rip at the same time with his outside hand too, and it's just dead in the water. There's nothing you can do. Good job on Dillon Gabriel here. One, he's left-handed, so that ball comes out. He's able to throw it. If he's right-handed, this ball probably doesn't do anything. Obviously, he's going to have to take that sack. So being left-handed helped him out right here. Gets the ball out quickly, as Gabriel does typically, but just winning quickly like that and then able to drive through the quarterback, make hits like this is what he does best. And it's just so much fun to watch, because yes, there's versatility. Yes, we know that he can kind of drop into coverage if you want him to, but the best thing that he offers is that pass rush package. And this is a unique play, right? Because he's going to inside counter and get after the quarterback initially. That's one thing he does well too, because we know he can stress the arc. If you can stress the arc and you've got speed, you can get back inside to that B gap because you're opening up the hips of the tackle typically. And right here, again, you're attacking. This is actually a pretty decent job of 54 staying square with him from SMU, but it doesn't matter because he goes to the outside and he's going to bring that inside ice pick, right? He folds through. And I mean, it's not that bad of a job from the tackle, but he's just outclassed athletically. And then in pursuit, I want you to watch the hip sync. Like, this guy could probably play wide receiver if he wanted to at 6'3", 252 pounds. He's got speed, athleticism, and then that hip sync right here where he stops on a dime with him and he's able to get out of breaks like that. Obviously, they complete the pass here, but it's just showing you how athletic he is with that outside movement and then ice pick with the spin move and then sinking his hips down right there. That's just next level type of stuff. And you don't see it every day. So I mean, in the NFL, there's a lot more players like that, but collegiate level athletes like this, they're great, but there's just not many that come out that look exactly like Abdul Carter. And that's why he's being compared to a guy who, again, played here before in Micah Parsons. There's so many similarities, but I love the pursuit and the effort that he plays with in every phase of the game. Again, route recognition here. I think he was going to get this tackle no matter what, even if there were other players there. What I love about this is that he's like a split second behind. Running back is going to release into the flat, trying to get this on third down. So he's going to take his trajectory, initially it's down in this direction, right? Thinking I'm going to go get the running back there. And through that, he's going to adjust it down the line, right? And then he takes big, massive strides too. He doesn't get cheated when he's running down the line, when he's in pursuit of against anybody. Does a great job here, again, recognizing, all right, initially running backs, all right, out of the backfield, I have to go chase that down. Look at him just get down the line. That's one of the most impressive things in terms of effort that I love about Abdul Carter. He's not going to get slouched. Like, he's going to do whatever he needs to make a play happen, and he's going to be the guy that makes it happen for that defense if he has to. And I love watching him do that, because it's just so much fun with the athleticism and the speed and the versatility that he plays with. So when you are in the backfield as many times as he is, there's just a different level of terror that it brings to an offense. SMU couldn't do anything. Not necessarily all their fault. Penn State outclassed them in so many different phases. But this is the next level addition to Abdul Carter in his game, because we know he can win. We know he can set up moves. We know he can set up counters, and he can string them all together. But the ghost move is a different thing all entirely. I mean, we know Von Miller was like the architect behind it in terms of perfecting it. And typically it's a long arm move where you fake the long arm into the chest and then you dip underneath. But because he's so good at getting inside tackles and ripping through, it looks the same with the same type of technique, and he can dip and use that same athleticism right there. Again, shows hands initially and dips underneath out of the way, and that ankle flexion to be able to dip underneath. I know he doesn't get the sack, but he sets up the sack by forcing Jennings out of the pocket and creates that havoc for him. So the ability with the athleticism, and then again going to something like this where it's a ghost move and you actually have number 54, the tackle, hitting him in the helmet because he's dipping underneath that. It's just so much fun to watch. So Abdul Carter highlighting this pass rush group for good reason. He is probably going to be the most athletic defensive end in this group, with speed to power, the different athletic abilities, the different traits that he has. He has a rip move that is going to be deadly right now when he gets to the next level, and he can just create things off of that. So he's got some work to do in the run game, but he understands play concepts. He can get into the backfield. He's very good at shooting his gaps, still maintaining his responsibility and knowing when he has help on the outside so he can get to the inside as well. Just got to really get after it a little bit more, maybe in the weight room, help with that point of attack, strength and physicality to not get, hooked by some offensive linemen and be able to get pushed out of the way. So he's so much fun to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown as much as I enjoyed doing it. If you guys are new to the TDN channel, please hit that sub button right now, hit the like on the way out, and I'll see you guys next time.